The hip-hop world is always devastated when they lose one of their own. In the last few years, there have been numerous deaths involving rappers. From drug overdoses to gun violence, death has robbed fans of great artists. Fans are often left with the rapper's last posts, which leave them scared and sad, knowing that they will never see them again. Here are 13 haunting last photos of rappers. Juice WRLD. On the 8th of December 2019, 6 days after his 21st birthday, Jared Anthony Higgins, alias Juice WRLD, suffered a medical emergency shortly after landing at Chicago's Midway International Airport and was later pronounced dead at a nearby hospital. Just 4 days earlier, the rapper had posted a photo on Instagram that may explain how and why the rapper passed away just 6 days after turning 21. While he was alive, Juice WRLD did not shy away from openly talking about his struggle with drug addiction and mental health issues, which was also prevalent in his music. In an Instagram live stream, the rapper opened up to his fans and revealed that he suffered from anxiety and depression. According to him, all the money he had could not solve his mental health issues. "I deal with anxiety and depression and all that," the rapper said. "Just cause you've got money, that don't solve nothing." Juice WRLD's ex-girlfriend, Alexia Smith, detailed the late rapper's drug abuse and claimed that the rapper would take up to 3 Percocet pills daily and mix the opioid painkiller with codeine. According to her, the people around him gave him everything he wanted to keep him happy. In the beginning, labels were fighting over him so bad they would have given him anything, Smith said in an interview. A day after his birthday, the rapper posted a photo of himself on a yacht, holding a blunt with the caption, "Yesterday was my actual birthday. I'm celebrating all week." That could only mean one thing: more drugs. This may have been the case as the rapper died just 3-4 days later from a drug overdose. Juice and his entourage landed 4 days later at Midway International Airport, Chicago, from Los Angeles. Little did they know that law enforcement officials were waiting to pounce on them on the runway. Reports suggest that the pilot had alerted authorities because the rapper's entourage had guns on them. Afraid of being apprehended with the drugs, the rapper proceeded to swallow them, which was a grave mistake as he started convulsing. The feds administered the opioid antidote Narcan, which revived Juice only briefly. He was then rushed to Advocate Christ Medical Center in Oak Lawn, where he was pronounced dead. Over a month after his death, Cook County Medical Examiner's Office determined that Juice WRLD's death was caused by an accidental overdose of oxycodone and codeine. After his death, the rapper's mom started a fund that aims at helping young people overcome drug addiction. She revealed that she knew that her son struggled with addiction and they often talked about his struggles. "I was aware of his struggles with addiction, anxiety, and depression. We had many conversations about his challenges with these issues." Lil Peep. Gustav Elijah, alias Lil Peep, was an American rapper and singer-songwriter. The Goth Boy Clique member is best remembered for helping pioneer an emo revival style of rap and rock music. But just like Juice WRLD, Lil Peep tragically passed away at 21 years of age from a drug overdose. On the 15th of November 2017, 2 weeks after his 21st birthday, Lil Peep was found dead in his tour bus after overdosing on Xanax and fentanyl, an ordeal that he documented on his Instagram page. The rapper often talked about his struggle with depression, heartbreak, drug use, and sexuality in his music, as well as in interviews. Even more shocking is the fact that he confessed to having suicidal thoughts. In an interview where the rapper was asked whether he had thoughts of harming himself, he replied, "Yeah, it is serious. I suffer from depression, and some days I wake up and I'm like, I wish I didn't wake up." Even in his last interview, the rapper confessed that he was depressed and that things were getting worse every day, saying, "Things just get worse. Things already get worse and worse and worse every day." On the day of his death, the rapper posted a series of eerie Instagram messages that hinted at his death. He was set to perform at a venue in Tucson, Arizona, but never showed up. The first photo he posted was captioned, "I feel empty." He later posted a video where he swallowed several pills. Later, he posted a video with the caption, "I just want to be everybody's everything. I want too much from people, but then I don't want anything from them at the same time. You feel me? I don't let people help me, but I need help. But not when I have my pills. But that's temporary one day. Maybe I won't die young and I'll be happy. What is happy? I always have happiness for like 10 seconds and then it's gone. I'm getting so tired of this." His next post was captioned, "When I die, you'll love me." Perhaps this was his call for help. However, no one really paid attention to him. And a little later, the rapper put up what would be his last post on Instagram. He posted a photo showing pills on his tongue with the caption, After his death, his mom filed wrongful death charges against Lil Peep's management. However, the management released a statement in their defense, saying that they consistently encouraged Peep to stop abusing drugs and to distance himself from the negative influence of the drug users and enablers with whom he chose to associate. Lil Loaded. Deshaun Maurice Robertson, alias Lil Loaded, was born in San Bernardino, California, and grew up in a family of 6 children in Dallas, Texas. Although he was a talented rapper, Lil Loaded would not live to realize his potential as he took his own life in 2021. On the 25th of October 2020, police responded to calls about a shooting in the Woods neighborhood of Dallas at around 2:40 p.m. When they showed up, they were informed that the victim in the shooting, 18-year-old Khalil Walker, had been driven to a nearby hospital. Unfortunately, Walker died about 2 hours later. As it turns out, Lil Loaded had accidentally shot his best friend while shooting a music video. The rapper surrendered to authorities 15 days after the shooting on the 9th of November 2020 and maintained his innocence. According to him, the shooting was accidental. However, the rapper was indicted by a grand jury on 1 count of manslaughter in connection with Walker's death. A Dallas County grand jury delivered the indictment, stating there was enough evidence to charge the young rapper with recklessly causing the death of his friend. He was released on a $500,000 bond. The young rapper was to appear in court on the 1st of June 2021. Lil Loaded never appeared in court. On the 31st of May, the day before his hearing, police responded to a distress call by the rapper's mom. Sadly, Lil Loaded had taken his own life via a gunshot wound to the head. What could have caused the young rapper to take his own life? People theoretically thought that the stress of having a manslaughter case hanging over his head got to him. When responding to this theory, his lawyer told reporters, "While pending charges as serious as Mr. Robertson's can be exceedingly stressful," and it certainly may have contributed to this tragic outcome, I believe he was in a good place mentally with regard to the charges and our upcoming court date. Taking his life, the hip-hop artist posted a sad message on his social media, which may have hinted at his plan. The post portrayed a troubled yet repentant young man. "Dear Most High, please forgive me for my shortcomings and all the times I fell short of making you proud and being appreciative of the blessings that have been put in my life," he wrote. He then went on to thank God for all of the people in his life that kept him grounded and humble through everything. "I ask for entrance to your kingdom through all of my mistakes. I know you love all of your children, and I'm ready for my heart and soul to join you," he concluded. Mac Miller. On the 7th of September 2018, American rapper and record producer Malcolm James McCormick, alias Mac Miller, was pronounced dead after a drug overdose. Before he died, he posted a story on his Instagram that strangely hinted at his death. Despite success in his music career, the rapper lived a troubled life. Miller often spoke openly about his struggle with substance abuse and depression. In a 2015 interview with Billboard, Miller admitted that he was worried about dying because he was doing a lot of drugs, which he had tried to manage. "It just eats at your mind, doing drugs every single day, every second. It's rough on your body." In an interview with Larry King, the rapper said, "I had a drug problem for a long time. It wasn't just in music, but I definitely was going through a drug problem, and I think it was more my state of mind. I was just pretty depressed." His struggle with drugs had started 3 years earlier during the tour of his mixtape, Macadelic. During this time, the rapper began taking promethazine and later became addicted to lean. In an interview in 2013, Miller admitted feeling lost because of his addiction to the drug. "I love lean. It's great. I was not happy, and I was on lean very heavy. I was so up all the time it was bad. My friends couldn't even look at me the same. I was lost." Substance abuse also got Miller into trouble with the law. He was arrested in May 2018 for driving under the influence and hit and run after crashing into a utility pole and fleeing the scene. After getting his address from his license plate number, the police showed up at his house, where Miller confessed to his crime. He was taken into custody and released on a $15,000 bond. 2 months later, Miller was charged with 2 counts of driving under the influence for the incident. However, he was never arraigned in court. On the 7th of September 2018, the 26-year-old rapper was found unresponsive in his home. Miller died from an accidental overdose due to a mixed drug toxicity of fentanyl, cocaine, and alcohol. The night before his death, the rapper had posted a story on Instagram showing a turntable playing his latest album, Swimming, with the song So It Goes, where he raps about getting high. In the song, the rapper sings, "9 lives, never die, to heaven, I'm still getting high. Never mind, did I mention I'm fine?" Although many people blamed his drug problem on his breakup with Ariana Grande, there is no question that his untimely demise robbed the world of a musical genius. Pop Smoke. On February 19, 2020, Bashar Baraka Jackson, popularly known as Pop Smoke, was shot and killed in LA. Although he died at just 20 years old, the up-and-coming rapper was among the pioneers of Brooklyn's drill movement. That day, the rapper was renting a house in Hollywood Hills, California. At around 4:30 a.m., a group of hooded men broke into the house through the second-story balcony. The intruders held a gun to a woman who was staying with Pop Smoke at the house and threatened to kill her. The attackers then confronted the rapper while he was in the shower. Pop Smoke fought back, which was a grave mistake mistake as he was shot in the chest. At first, the LAPD suspected that Pop Smoke's death was gang-related, as he had ties to the Crips gang. However, upon further investigation, the authorities concluded that the rapper's death was a result of a home robbery gone wrong. It was believed the intruder stole his gold watch and other jewelry before running away from the house. The LAPD arrived in 6 minutes following a 911 call, and Pop Smoke was rushed to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center. Doctors did all they could, but the young star was pronounced dead within a few hours. Rumors started spreading that online activity by Pop Smoke and his friend Mike D. Duradola may have led to the incident. Throughout the previous day, the rapper and his friend posted their location on Instagram. He had also posted photos on social media flashing stacks of cash, as well as a luxury car and designer goods. One of the photos showed the house's full address on a package he had received. According to netizens, the robbers used this information to locate the rapper. Some even accused Mike D of setting up his friend after posting a photo of the address. However, Mike took to Instagram to deny any wrongdoing. He posted several photos of them from childhood, which were accompanied by an emotional caption. He also emphasized that he would never set up Pop Smoke since he was like a brother to him. "I would never in my life set my brother up. We ate together, broke bread together, this really my mother child." On July 9th, 2020, the Los Angeles Police Department announced that 5 people were in custody in relation to the rapper's murder. A few days later, prosecutors announced that 4 of them were charged in Pop Smoke's slaying: Corey Walker, 19, Keandre Rogers, 18, and 2 minor teens whose names were not released because of their age. The 2 juveniles were charged with murder and robbery in juvenile court. The rapper's last post was a photo of the beautiful city of LA where he tragically died, Raleigh Bands. Sometimes, rappers' cockiness may lead to serious consequences. As we will see in the case of Raleigh Bands, sometimes it is not a great idea to taunt one's ops. Florida rapper Ari Williams, alias Raleigh Bands, would learn this the hard way. On July 22nd, 2022, the rapper posted on Instagram that he would be home within a certain time frame, and anyone who had a bone to pick with him should stop by, a challenge that was accepted immediately. "A lot of these know where I live at for real. I sleep in peace. If want smoke, I'm at my crib in 5 minutes," read the post. Bands was clearly taunting his ops, a move that would prove deadly a few minutes later. Instead, he dared his enemies to pull up. Some of his ops must have taken the post personally and decided to take action immediately. Only 5 minutes after his post, Bands was reportedly shot outside of his apartment building at the IQ Apartments in the 1200 block of Bruce B. Downs Boulevard. Bands was rushed to a local hospital. Unfortunately, he succumbed to his gunshot wounds. While many may find this too much of a coincidence, investigators said that the shooting did not appear random and that the suspects, who fled the scene ahead of the incident being reported, and the victim possibly knew each other. Other reports showed that Bands was followed all the way home and shot just outside his apartment. So who had taken the rapper's post seriously and accepted his challenge? Well, barely 2. Weeks passed when U.S. Marshals took into custody the first suspect on August 2nd. According to detectives, the suspect, Darren Day, took the 27-year-old rapper up on his offer and killed him outside the IQ apartment complex. The U.S. Marshals found him hiding in Lee County before being taken into custody and placing him as the main suspect in the murder. Day was charged with a count of first-degree murder. The saga continued a week later when U.S. Marshals arrested a second suspect in the case on August 9th. A 29-year-old man named Demon Speed was arrested in Fort Myers and charged with premeditated first-degree murder and felon in possession of a firearm in connection with Bands' murder. We are yet to see the case unfold. Raleigh Bands was thought to be something of a rising star within the Tampa music scene and had around 6,000 Instagram followers at the time of his death. His tragic death showed the dangers of being too cocky. Although it is important to note that he did not deserve to die for whatever reason, let alone a harmless post on Instagram. XXXTentacion.'s Instagram page has only 1 post, which was his last before his tragic death. Riva Motorsports in Deerfield Beach, Florida was the last place the rapper was seen alive. On the 18th of June 2018, as the rapper was driving away from Riva Motorsports, his car was blocked off by a black SUV and 2 men jumped out to rob him. The aftermath of the robbery was the death of the prolific rapper. Before visiting the dealership earlier that day, Jose Dwayne Ricardo Onfroy stopped by Bank of America to withdraw cash. At 3:30 in the afternoon, the rapper and his uncle went into Riva Motorsports. A dark-colored SUV pulled up into the dealership a short while after the rapper and his uncle. Dedrick Williams, Robert Allen, Michael Boatwright, and Trayvon Newsom were in the SUV. Later during the trial, Allen confessed that the 4 had planned to rob people that day, and when they saw the rapper, he became their target. target. Surveillance video from inside the showroom revealed that suspects Allen and Williams walk inside the dealership where they bought ski masks for their operation. Once inside, they confirmed their target and set their evil plan into action. After waiting for half an hour, the rapper and his uncle walked out of the dealership and got into his black BMW. CCTV footage captured the SUV driving in front of the rapper's car, trapping him. Newsom and Boatwright exited the vehicle and demanded his chain and Louis Vuitton bag. During the scuffle, the attackers allegedly stole the rapper's designer bag and chain. Luckily, his uncle got out of the car during the altercation and ran to safety. Although the robbery was over, Boatwright allegedly walked back 1 or 2 feet away from the rapper's vehicle, grabbed his gun, and fired 6 shots, killing him. Interestingly, cops were able to arrest the suspects thanks to Instagram posts. Cops were able to link several separate sets of CCTV footage featuring similar bright orange footwear worn by one of the attackers to recent posts on Williams' Instagram account. After all 4 suspects were arrested, the authorities were able to get one of them, Robert Allen, to testify against the others, especially since he did not play a major role in the robbery and murder. The 3 were found guilty of first-degree murder and robbery with a deadly weapon. Each of them was handed down 2 life sentences. The rapper's Instagram posts were deleted save for one photo. The post is an upside-down photo of the rapper with the caption, "Love is War." The post has garnered more than 30 million likes and 10 million comments. It is the 12th most liked photo on Instagram and has the 2nd most comments on the platform. Young Dolph.
A rapper whose star was on the rise in the music industry has been killed.
Rapper Young Dolphin has now been shot and killed in Memphis.
On the 17th of November 2021, Memphis and the entire hip-hop industry was rocked by the death of Adolph Robert Thornton Jr., alias Young Dolph. That day, Young Dolph was in Memphis doing what many people loved him for, supporting local businesses. The rapper was on his way to one of his favorite spots, Makeda's Homemade Butter Cookies, to buy cookies for his mom. At around noon, Dolph drove around Memphis in his signature camouflage covert. He stopped at a gas station just a short distance away from the bakery to put gas in his vehicle. In a video obtained by TMZ, the rapper can be seen filling up his car with gas before heading off to Makeda's Homemade Butter Cookies, where he would be last seen. His would-be killers must have seen him driving through Memphis and tailed him as they waited for the perfect opportunity to strike. After leaving the gas station, he drove to the bakery and pulled over at the parking lot a little past noon. He could never have known that he was only moments away from losing his life. He exited his vehicle and made his way into the bakery. That was the green light for his enemies as they also made their way to the bakery. The attackers pulled up into the parking lot in a 2-door Mercedes-Benz where 2 men who were completely masked jumped out of the vehicle with guns and opened fire. The rapper was hit 22 times and slowly, as he bled out on the floor of his favorite bakery, his life slipped from his fingers. The tension was so high that there were calls for the implementation of a curfew in Memphis.
Several public officials calling for a curfew tonight, fearing acts of retaliation in certain parts of the city after Young Dolph is shot and killed.
There was so much tension in the city as Dolph's biggest op, Yo Gotti, had his restaurant shut down temporarily by cops as a precautionary move in case there were any planned retaliation attacks. Takeoff. On the 1st of November 2022, the legendary trio Migos was no more as one of the rappers had passed away. Kurznik Karibal, alias Takeoff, had been shot dead. The tragic news sent shockwaves to the hip-hop world. While news of his death spread like wildfire, his last post on Instagram before his death caused an even larger stir among fans worldwide. On the 1st of November 2022, tragedy struck at 810 Billiards and Bowling in Houston, Texas. Around 40 people had gathered outside the bowling alley after a private party had ended. An altercation broke out outside the venue's 3rd floor entrance. The altercation escalated into guns being drawn and fired. Unfortunately, Takeoff was hit by 2 stray bullets. The Houston police chief also confirmed that Takeoff was not the intended target. The news was tragic. However, just before he was shot, the rapper had posted a photo on his Instagram stories with the song Stop Breathing by Playboi Carti. Was this a coincidence? Did he predict his death? Fans read too much into it. However, since the authorities ruled out foul play, fans returned to mourning the famous rapper. As more details began to come to light regarding the situation, it became evident that his uncle had played a big role in his death. Reports supported by police investigations showed that Quavo was watching the dice game at the mall. His nephew Takeoff was standing a few feet behind him. As Quavo watched the game, a man, who was later identified as Michael Prince, approached him accompanied by 2 young black men, later identified as Cameron Joshua and Christopher Watkins, and an argument ensued. One of Quavo's associates, Willie Bland, was standing next to Quavo as this was happening. According to police investigations, an argument ensued pursued, and Quavo turned away from the men as Joshua started to pull out a gun. Seeing this, Bland reached out and punched him. According to Bland, he thought that the two wanted to rob Quavo. As Bland tried to fend off Joshua and Watkins using his fists, Patrick Xavier Clark, popularly known as DJ Pat, witnessed the events from a distance. Reports showed that Watkins is DJ Pat's brother, and when he saw someone getting physical with his brother, he took out his firearm and fired shots at Bland. A confused Bland also took out his firearm, believing that Joshua had let out shots at him and fired in his direction. Luckily, Bland's bullets went into the bowling alley but did not hit anyone. Now it is important to note that Takeoff was standing behind Quavo and Bland at this time, so the cops were quick to rule him out as the killer. That left the person who fired first as the rapper's killer. DJ Pat had missed his intended target and hit Takeoff. 23 racks.
16-year-old Justin Johnson was shot and killed in Southeast D.C. last Thursday morning.
Justin Johnson, alias 23 Racks, was killed on May 26, 2022, when he was only a teen, which only goes to show that gun violence associated with hip-hop has only become brutal over the years as teenagers are being shot and killed. The 16-year-old's career began to take shape after he signed with MGE, a record label based in the DMV, in 2020, and dropped his debut EP, Rookie of the Year, a year later. While generating a buzz around the city, his father, Michael Johnson, repeatedly tried to keep his son out of the streets, but he continuously kept getting pulled back in. 23 Racks even caught the eye of DC legends like Whale, who paid tribute to the late rapper shortly after his death. "I don't even know what to say. I'm so sorry, little brother," Whale posted. Although the young rapper's death was tragic and unfortunate, reports suggested that he may have unknowingly played a role in his own death. That morning, 23 Racks was shooting a music video for one of his tracks. He ended up sharing his location on Instagram. In the video, he recorded himself smoking. He then turned the camera and showed the neighborhood he was in, and even pinned the location on the screen. The rapper's father claimed that his son was an A student and that he even got tuition offers to attend private schools. However, things took a turn when he started rapping. Although his father wanted him to stay in school, that was a tough job, as according to his father, nobody could get him to stay off the streets. His father also complained about how easy it was for kids to get their hands on guns, as 23 Racks was once arrested for possessing a gun. Whale expressed more emotions on Twitter, saying, "It's throwing me off. That boy was so young, so much in front of him. I remember just hanging all day when he came to LA. He ended up being the last voice you hear on this last album. I can't believe this." 23 Racks had his whole life ahead of him. Judging by the way his career had started, he was well on his way up. We can only imagine the heights he would have reached were it not for his death. A candlelight vigil was held in his honor a few days later in the same area he was killed. 6 Dogs. Ronald Chase Amick, professionally known as 6 Dogs, was an American rapper, artist, painter, and fashion designer from Dahlonega, Georgia. Born on the 5th of May, 1999, the rapper rose to fame in 2017 through SoundCloud. His most popular song was Faygo Dreams, which garnered over 17 million views on YouTube and over 100 million streams on Spotify. Sadly, the rapper died at 21 years of age after taking his own life due to depression. 6 Dogs grew up in a strict Christian household and often served as an altar boy as a child during church masses. He got his first job as a lifeguard when he was 16, where he decided to pursue his dream of making music. After the success of Faygo Dreams, he was signed to Interscope Records in 2018. The star often hinted at having mental health issues, especially when on interviews. In an interview with No Jumper, 6 Dogs said he started rapping as an outlet because he was super depressed. He said, "I was super depressed, you know. I still feel some type of way sometimes, but for the most part I'm straight now, but I just needed an outlet." However, he often reached out to fans who felt suicidal and encouraged them to embrace their flaws. In an interview, he said, "It feels really good to be able to help people like that, especially since I know what that's like to have to go through." Before his death, he shared a cryptic message on Twitter saying, "If you have friends in the music biz, call them and check on them. This rat race that we all are in is not cool. Some days I feel like a superhero who can take over the world, and some days I just want to cry and quit. I know I'm not alone. I know a lot of us feel this way." Sadly, the 21-year-old rapper succumbed to depression and jumped from a building to his death on the 26th of January 2021. Capital Steez. Courtney Everall Jamal Dewar Jr., professionally known as Capital Steez, was an American rapper and songwriter from Brooklyn, New York. Born on the 7th of July, 1993, the hip-hop artist is best known for founding the Brooklyn-based rap collective Pro Era alongside his childhood friend Joey Badass. Unfortunately, Capital Steez died on the 23rd of December 2012 by jumping from the rooftop of a building. His life, just like his death, was shrouded in mystery. Without a doubt, Steez was a successful musician, especially with with the release of his first solo mixtape, America Con Corruption, which received universal acclaim. Born in a Christian household, the rapper soon questioned his faith. The spiritual path that he took is often blamed for his demise later on in life. He believed that Jesus was black, leading him to become interested in Rastafarianism. Steez was very spiritual and constantly sought answers as to what the world really was. His quest for answers eventually led him to Hinduism. The release of his first solo mixtape, America Con Corruption, was controversial, especially regarding the project's artwork. Steez printed the number 47 onto stickers and put the numbers in a white circle with a red background, depicting what looked like a swastika. The swastika is popularly known as the symbol that was used by the Nazis during the Second World War. Therefore, it was bound to create controversy. However, the symbol has not always been used for hate. It turns out it was a symbol in China, where it was introduced from India with Buddhism and symbolized the source of all good fortune. The rapper wanted to use it as a symbol of peace, love, and balance in the world. He placed the project's artwork all over New York before releasing his mixtape, which caused controversy. Steez began to believe that he was divine and that he was put on the world to save it. He began to confuse his family and friends, as they had no idea what he was talking about sometimes. The rapper became paranoid, especially when it came to the 47 sticker. He believed that he was going to get in trouble for the sticker. He believed the only way to solve the problem was to hurt himself. His friends heard him mention that he would kill himself, but they thought nothing of it. However, it was only a matter of time before he took his own life. On the 23rd of December, he sent a message to his friends expressing his love for them. He then tweeted, "The end." The rapper jumped off a Manhattan building and fell to his death. When his body was found, he clutched a Bible to his chest. What was even more shocking about the rapper's death was the date that he died. He died on the 23rd of the 12th month in 2012. Adding up the dates, 23, 12, and 12 totaled 47, a number that meant a lot to the artist. It seems that he may have been planning his death for a while. AKA
Gun rapper Kiernan Jarrett Forbes, professionally known as AKA, has been reportedly shot dead in a drive-by shooting ahead of his 31st birthday party.
Kiernan Jarrett Forbes, alias AKA, is the only non-American rapper on this list. Born in Cape Town and raised in Johannesburg, South Africa, he is arguably one of the best rappers from South Africa. He was one of the most popular South African musicians of his era and the greatest selling South African hip-hop artist of all time. AKA was still going hard as one of the best MCs in the country when he met his tragic death on the 10th of February 2023. In the hours leading up to his death, the rapper had shared all his locations on Instagram, something many believe was an extremely dangerous thing to do. Less than 2 weeks after his birthday, AKA was set to perform at Yugo, a popular nightclub in Durban. Throughout the day, the rapper kept his followers updated on his whereabouts by tagging each of his locations. AKA was a kind-hearted man who loved to promote the businesses he frequented on his social media. However, that may have led to his undoing as his killers knew his every step. First, he announced that he would be performing in Durban.
Check it out now. Catch me tonight, we at Yugo, baby.
He then posted a photo showing his fans that he was about to get on a flight to Durban. Later, the rapper visited a barbershop. His last post showed that he was at Wish Restaurant. At around 10 p.m. that night, AKA and his friends were standing outside the restaurant as they prepared to leave for the club when a hooded gunman ran up to them and shot AKA in the head, while his accomplice, who was standing by AKA's car, released more shots, which killed one of the rapper's friends. The two gunmen then fled the scene on foot, and AKA, together with his friend, were pronounced dead at the scene. Since they were never robbed, police believed that AKA had been assassinated. Suspicion started to grow as people started to speculate that Moses Tembe had something to do with the incident. Moses Tembe was the father of AKA's late fiancée, Anela Nelly Tembe, who died under mysterious circumstances. Nelly fell to her death from the 10th floor at a hotel in Cape Town. Shortly after her death, allegations of abuse surfaced against AKA, which he denied. While hotel staff told the cops that they heard the couple arguing, the rapper insisted that Nelly jump. It is believed that Nelly's father, a multimillionaire, ordered the hit on AKA for his daughter's death, an allegation that the business mogul has denied. While all these rappers continue to live on through their music, their last post on social media will be remembered as their final salute to their fans. If you enjoyed this video, click on the boxes playing on your screen to watch similar content.